Welcome to In My Feelings, a safe space to talk all things NBA. I'm Big Wos, and I'm back from R&R during Wellness Week. Let's go, baby. All right, folks, let's get right into Factor Feelings. First up, Factor Feelings. Jayson Tatum is a serious MVP candidate this season. That's feelings 100%, but let's get why we even brought this up as a show topic today. Shouts to Legion's Hoops. They tweeted a Draymond Green quote from his podcast, the Draymond Green podcast. Let's just play the clip.
JT will not be taken serious for the MVP until he wins a championship. And it just hasn't been that way for everybody else, I must say. It's not that way for Joker. It's not that way for Giannis. It's not that way for Joel. It just ain't really been that way for everybody else. So I don't know, young fella, I don't know how the goalpost moved on you like that, but they should acknowledge it.
I actually watched the Draymond video to sort of see like the tone. Sometimes when people grab a quote from audio or video, it doesn't give you the full picture. So I actually watched it and then I tweeted myself. And for whatever reason, this tweet got crazy amount of responses. I said, I think people don't take Jayson Tatum seriously as an MVP candidate because he's not a serious MVP candidate. This isn't controversial, folks. That's not to say that Jayson Tatum won't be on people's MVP ballots. That's not to say that Jayson Tatum isn't having an excellent season. That's not to say that Jayson Tatum isn't one of the best wings in the entire NBA. By the way, wing being the most premium position, and he's up there with the best of them. You know, you could put him with the Lukas and the Shea. Like he's one of the best players, Devin Booker's, you name them, these wings, these ball-dominant type of players that have to carry their teams, you know, through deep postseason runs. But the reason why I say he's not a serious contender, and what Draymond is talking about in that quote where he's like, somehow the quote-unquote goalposts are moved, where maybe Tatum's not getting the recognition because he didn't win in the finals in 2022 or because they got upset by the Heat last year. What I would say is, no, he's not being taken seriously because the guys who are the front runners, the aforementioned Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Luka Doncic, they're playing way better than Jayson Tatum is individually. Let's just get that component out of it first. Jayson Tatum is not playing as well as Luka. There's no metric, objective metric of any sort, or even the eye test that would tell you that Jayson Tatum is having a stronger season than Luka Doncic. He's not having a stronger season than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander either. Again, look up the numbers, whether it be the all-in-one, the efficiency stats, you name it. He's not playing better than Shai. Go look up win shares. Go look up VORP. Go look up whatever, Shaney from my man Kevin Pelton. Go look up whatever you want. He's not playing better than, and clearly nobody on planet Earth thinks he's playing better than Nikola Jokic. Some of the arguments that I got online specifically from a bunch of dudes with Tatum jerseys in their freaking avatar was about this notion that the Celtics are the best team in the NBA. So therefore this individual award should go to Jayson Tatum. And I'm sympathetic to that argument, even though it's not very salient here, because I think in a previous era of the NBA, a certain level of individual brilliance could carry your team through ultimate success. So it kind of made sense to do these 1v1 comparisons where if a guy played like the MVP of the league, his team tended to be at the top of the league. And I think that's because the talent was way more diluted in those times. And right now, it's my belief that the NBA is as talented as it's ever been. And so just individual brilliance is not going to equal team success, right? And so what does that mean? Jayson Tatum could be playing on a team that is more well-rounded, more talented than Dallas is playing. And he could be playing worse than Luka Doncic is while still experiencing better team success because of that fact. That does not then mean that Jayson Tatum is now playing better than Luka Doncic. We don't need to do this lazy, look at the standings. Who do we think is the best player? There's our MVP. That's not how that works. We're smarter now. We're more nuanced now. And the league, more importantly, doesn't operate that way because of how dense the talent is. Tatum is going to be on people's ballots. Tatum, deserves all the praise that he gets for his contribution to the Celtics team brilliance. However, he's not as good as that top three. And if anything, the only person with a gripe about not being taken serious this year is Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's already won 2 MVPs, who's playing as well as any of his MVP seasons, and most people don't really take him seriously as an MVP candidate. He's probably got a gripe and a case. Jayson Tatum does not. All right, let's get right into vibe check, and we are checking in on none other than one Draymond Green. I mean, it's a theme of today's show. Again, we're coming off a wellness week where obviously we take mindfulness and wellness oh so seriously on the show, and Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors specifically because he had an incident earlier this year where he had to come out and publicly talk about this kind of stuff. Talk about going to therapy, talk about his mental well-being, talk about sort of evolving on a journey. Because this is a journey. It's never a destination. You're never going to reach this destination of permanent zen or tranquility. We all understand that this is a journey. And Draymond has been very vocal, if not very clear about that journey.
I feel like that's a breakthrough for me. Let me build on that.
Yeah, so a clip just surfaced of him on Taylor Rooks' show that she does for Turner. Shouts to Taylor Rooks, one of the best in the business as far as like getting people to talk and open up to her. I don't think that anybody's actually better than her at that job. She's incredible. So shouts to her for another great get and, managing to get people to talk to her. But yeah, she sat down with Draymond Green, and for the umpteenth time, Draymond Green, and again, if you guys will remember, he had an hour-long podcast, when he came back from the suspension about contemplating retirement and, getting better and being in a dark place and having his kid drag him out the basement. Like, he went on and on and on and on and on and on about how much he learned from the experience. But I want you guys to watch this clip and tell me if you think Draymond Green has learned from that experience.
When that video first came out, I watched that video all day. That video was put out there like that to portray me the exact way it did. Does that mean I was not wrong in what I did? No, that does not mean that. This was meant to form an opinion about me and not give another side to it. Like, not even allow another opinion to be formed.
The video coming out, you feel like was like a calculated thing for the video to come out?
100%.
Folks, does that sound like a man who has learned from his mistakes? Because according to this clip, Draymond is saying, like, look, punching Jordan Poole in his grill and ruining last season and probably contributing to permanently damaging this guy's career going forward, because let's face it, folks, he's stinking up the joint in Washington. That was bad. That was bad. That was bad. But a close second in terribleness is the fact that the video got out, and it got out without the context of what Jordan Poole said to me. If you guys would have heard what he said, clearly you guys would know that he deserved to get punched. That is just amazing. And I would say never change Draymond, but I don't have to. It's clear from that video that he's never going to change. However, what I'll add to that is quiet as kept, man. Since he's come back to the Golden State Warriors from his absence, they've been a way better team. That's the other part of this. It's that as insufferable, unconscionable, ridiculous as a lot of this Draymond Green stuff has been, you can't deny his contribution to the team. Like, they just look so much different, so much better now that he's back to looking like themselves, looking like they could be a threat. But man, that is the most fascinating thing. That's why it's hard for me to not talk about Draymond Green on this show, because he is such an interesting character study where it's like he is unhinged, but his greatness is so tied to his volatility. And so can you really blame him for refusing to let it go when it's so clearly, whenever he's on the floor, works for him and his teammates in a positive manner, until the moments that it doesn't. But yeah, man, it's just funny to watch that clip in comparison to his whole 45-minute mea culpa diatribe when he came back on his podcast, man. Draymond Green, yeah, keep it the same forever, for our sake anyway. All right, guys, before we get you guys up out of here, I just had to address Monty Williams because he had one of the great quotes of this week, probably of this season. Great quote, great video. Yeah, this is Monty Williams after a tough loss to the New York Knicks at the Garden the other day. This is the entirety of his post-game press conference, folks. Check it out.
Where's the New York media now?
The absolute worst call of the season. No call. And enough's enough. We've done it the right way. We've called the league. We've sent in clips. We're sick of hearing the same stuff over and over again. We had a chance to win the game, and the guy dove into Asar's legs, and there was a no call. That's an abomination. You cannot miss that in an NBA game, period. And I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of our guys asking me, what more can we do, coach? That situation is exhibit A to what we've been dealing with all season long, and enough's enough. You cannot dive into a guy's legs in a big-time game like that and there be a no call. It's ridiculous, and we're tired of it. We just want a fair game called, period. And I got nothing else to say. We want a fair game, and that was not fair. I'm done.
Just incredible sound on so many different levels. First of all, Monty, where's the New York media now? I was like, I'm right here. I don't cover the Knicks. I no longer live in New York, but I am still a loudmouth New Yorker in the media. So I would like to tell you, I'm right here. But in all seriousness, man, I think rightfully so, Monty Williams got mocked and ridiculed for this performance after the game where he's just like, oh, we don't know what else to do. I don't know, play better, not be 9-49 or whatever the hell you guys are now. But I respect the passion and indignation because, yeah, they're having a tough go of it in a terrible season, but it's a really young team. And it's important that they understand that these games still matter. If they have a trajectory and a goal of ultimately elevating themselves past this lowly station that they're at right now, it is important that they take these games seriously. So Monty's saying, a big-time game like this, for them it should be a big-time game. This is a top 5 team in your conference. It's Madison Square Garden. You want to prove yourself. You want to feel like you're improving. So I respect Monty for doing that part of it. But yeah, what else is the guy supposed to do? Obviously, he knows they paid him way too much money to coach this damn team. He knows he's breaking records with losing streaks. He knows how embarrassing that is. But I like that in public he's saying, look, we still got fight in us. We're still taking this serious. I'm going to come out and defend my guys. But man, what a moment for Monty Williams. All right, guys, that was our show for today. Make sure you subscribe to the Ringer NBA's YouTube page. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Hit the notification so that you're alerted every time we drop every single Friday. We will see you guys next week. Peace.